The sun has long disappeared behind the hills. The air is still, and the only sounds are distant insects and the occasional barking of a dog. Then, silence. On a lonely farm, the animals suddenly become relentless. Chickens scatter, goats huddle together. Something is moving just beyond the fence line, hidden by the darkness. No one sees it clearly. By morning, the farm is eerily quiet. The livestock are now dead. There are no signs of a struggle, no tracks that make sense, just strange wounds that leave farmers searching for answers. Rumors spread from one village to the next. Some swear they caught a glimpse of the glowing eyes watching from the trees. Others claim it stood on two legs before disappearing into the night. For decades, stories like this have traveled across rural communities, growing with every new sighting. Some believe an unknown predator is stalking the countryside. Others say fear and imagination have turned ordinary events into unforgettable legend. But what if the stories aren't just stories? Hello everybody. Today, we're following the trail of one of the most mysterious creatures ever reported. We'll examine the eyewitness accounts, the alleged evidence, and the scientific explanations to answer one question. Is there something lurking into the darkness, or has the legend taken on a life of its own? And that life we'll be discussing about today is the Chupacabra. Have you ever heard of the Chupacabra? It's one of the most famous cryptids, a mysterious creature that's been blamed for killing livestock across the Americas for nearly 30 years. But is there any real evidence that it exists? Or is it just another urban legend? Well, let's find out. The name Chupacabra literally means goat sucker in Spanish because early reports claim the creature attacked the goats and other farm animals, leaving strange puncture wounds and supposedly draining their blood. First, widely known sightings came from Puerto Rico in 1995. Witnesses described the creature standing out about 4 to 5 feet tall with spikes running down its back, glowing red eyes, and powerful legs. But here's when things get interesting. You see, many people believe the original eyewitness description may have been influenced by the science fiction movie Species, which had been released shortly before the first reports. Also, the alien creature in the film shares some surprisingly similar features. As reports spread into Mexico and southern United States, the description changed dramatically. Instead of a reptilian monster, witnesses often reported a hairless, dog-like animal. Wildlife experts investigated many of these sightings and found that most were actually coyotes, dogs, or wolves suffering from severe mange, a disease that causes hair loss and makes animals appear much more frightening than normal. Kind of like one of those hairless cats. For decades, people have debated whether this mysterious creature is an undiscoverable predator or simply a legend fueled by fear and misidentification. While stories are fascinating, it's also important to separate eyewitness claims from verifiable evidence. So why do some people believe it's real? Well, first, there have been reports from 100 eyewitnesses. Since the mid-1900s, hundreds of people across Puerto Rico, Mexico, and parts of the United States have claimed to see a strange creature unlike any known animal. Although descriptions vary, many witnesses insist they saw something they couldn't identify. Number 2, mysterious livestock deaths. So many farmers have reported goats, chickens, sheep, and other animals found dead with unusual puncture wounds. In some cases, there appeared to be very little blood around the carcasses, leading to rumors that the animal's blood have been completely drained. However, wildlife experts note that blood often pools inside the body after death or soaks into the ground, making it appear as though there was less blood than expected. 3, unidentified carcasses. So several strange-looking animal bodies have been discovered over the years and labeled as possible chupacabras. Their hairless skin, long snouts, and thin bodies certainly looked unusual enough to spark the public interest. At the time, many people believed these remains were proof that the creature had finally been found. Number 4, consistent local legends. Even before the modern chupacabra stories, many cultures throughout Latin America had legends about mysterious creatures attacking livestock. Some believers argue that these stories describe the same creature under different names. So with all those real possibilities, why do scientists believe it's a hoax or misidentification? Whether scientists have been able to allege chupacabra carcasses, The DNA has consistently matched known animals, most commonly coyotes, domestic dogs, wolves, foxes, or raccoons. No tested specimen has ever belonged to an unknown species. Number 2, the mange explains many sightings. Many of the dog-like chupacabras turn out to be coyotes or dogs suffering from severe mange, a skin disease caused by mites. These mange causes extreme hair loss, thick, darkened skin, thin, unhealthy bodies, a frightening appearance unlike a healthy animal to, well, these animals. Without fur, even a familiar animal can look completely unfamiliar. The third reason why it's possibly a hoax is because the original description may have been inspired by a movie. One of the eyewitnesses in Puerto Rico described a creature with large black eyes, spikes running down its back, and an alien-like appearance. Years later, she acknowledged that after seeing the movie Species, she realized the creature in the film looked remarkably similar to what she remembered seeing. Researchers believe that this may have intentionally influenced the original description. 4 is the predator's behavior. Wildlife biologists explain that coyotes, wild dogs, foxes, and other predators sometimes kill multiple animals during a single attack, especially if livestock panic inside a fence enclosure. While this may seem mysterious, it's a well-documented behavior called surplus killing. Number 5, like in my previous videos, there is no physical proof. Despite thousands of reports spanning nearly 3 decades, there has never been a verified live specimen, bones from an unknown species, clear high-quality photographs, DNA belonging to an unidentified animal, or fossil evidence of such creature. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, and so far, none has been found. However, I can't argue that the Chupacabra remains one of the most famous cryptids. Eyewitnesses' stories are compelling, and the mystery continues to capture people's imaginations. But based on the evidence available today, scientists conclude that the legend is best explained by a combination of misidentified animals, livestock attacks by known predators, and a disease such as mange, folklore, and occasional hoaxes. That doesn't stop people from wondering, though, that every few years another strange sighting makes headlines, and the legend comes back to life. Until someone produces unidentifiable physical evidence, the Chupacabra will remain exactly what it has always been, a mystery that lives somewhere between the folklore and fact. Again, if you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you staying, and if you liked more discussions like this, please comment down below or like the video. Have a great day.